Welcome to Dungeons and Chickens, the podcast where chickens fight back. Halloween edition.
Woo-hoo! Spoopy edition!
And in order to get the spirit of Halloween, I've actually put on a costume. I'm Luke Skywalker from Star Wars Episode 4, and I have my own lightsaber. May the Force be with you.
Question
And
is...
to prove that I'm not wearing a bathrobe and that I'm actually wearing a costume, it's right there. Look right there. Yeah, I'm not lying, I swear. But anyway, for this Halloween special, Dungeons and Chickens will be taking place in the same world as our characters are currently in right now. They will have all the same experience and values, and we're actually going to pick up the exact same spot we left off last time. So, with that being said, I think we should get into it.
Let's do this.
Alrighty. So, last time, you guys were in Aspecia, and you guys needed a ship. So after hitching some ride on the far east side of Aspecia, that's my lightsaber falling over. After taking the boat from Aspecia to Valyrian, you guys managed to make it within a decent time frame. And so you guys arrived in the top port, and then made your way down to the bottom of Valyrian to Woodway Manor in order to track down Beatrix, Delilah's estranged sister, which has gone missing, at least for the past few months at least, and hasn't heard back from her at all. And so your party has decided to go and pursue her, and heard that she has been taken in by Arganon Woodway. This is a man known throughout Ufaros as a man with quite amount of power and money, and he represents everything in this world that basically is anything of worth he represents. And so he owns most of the trade in Valyrian, and our heroes decided to go investigate Woodway Manor, and were in fact actually accepted into Woodway Manor by Arganon Woodway, and saw that they were brought into some sort of open room with some tables and a throne. Were brought in, and they were Beatrix was brought out in a beautiful silk dress with the details of Arganon's own house. And once he did that, Beatrix manages to sit right next to him and greet you guys very nonchalantly. So that is where we'll pick up today. And so Arganon, he sits at his chair, kind of tapping his finger on the armrest of the chair he's sitting in. Very a sort of dark wood chair with a red kind of pattern. He gestures with his left hand and lifts it from the armrest and says, "Beatrix, you know what to do." Beatrix, at that point, stands up at Arganon's command and walks over and centers herself 5 feet away from the three of you and outstretches her hand. From the center of her hand, you can see a dark pulsing energy illuminate before launching itself at the three of you and engulfing you in this void of pure darkness for a few seconds.
Do I get a chance to go, Beatrix?
You do. You managed to say that as she casts a spell, and you were engulfed in this void, basically, of pure darkness for a few seconds. When this subsides, the room goes deathly quiet as everything kind of seems the exact same. And everybody's kind of staring at you. The other Arganon and Beatrix are both staring at you, all of you. And suddenly the room goes deathly quiet, and the building around you begins to crumble. The building on all sides of you starts to fall all over the place, like rubble's falling over the place, marble's kind of dislodging itself. And the floor that you guys are standing on actually kind of collapses in on itself, and you guys fall with. And you notice that the other two didn't fall into this hole; only you guys did. And so you guys begin to plummet into this void that you didn't know existed until 2 seconds ago. As you start falling, it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds of pure falling in this empty void, wondering if you'll be falling for all of infinity. As the thought just comes to your mind, all three of you land in a pile of leaves in what looks like a dense yet cool forest, with a light layer of fog hovering above the floor.
Oh, yes.
As you look around, dark green trees with thick trunks surround you on your left and right, only the natural path moving you forward and nowhere else. So, at this point, what would you guys like to do?
Okay, so not role-playing. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. The moment you mentioned the dark forest, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, let's fucking go.
Here we go.
Well, Delilah probably So we fell into a pile of leaves. Did you say?
Yep. So all of you kind of fall in the leaves, and everything you're kind of holding kind of like lodges itself. So your staff kind of like fell out of your hand, and and it's kind of like just rolled across the leaves a bit and landed somewhat in the path.
Is Saul with me? Has he come down with me?
Yeah.
Or is he just kind of fluttering about and squawking like, what the fuck?
He was on your hat, and so he was engulfed in the magic when it hit you. So he's also there with you, and he's very confused. He seems to be he's quiet, but I don't know, he looks unnerved a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Considering his original owner just cast him away. Well, as Delilah, then I hurry to my feet, scramble to my feet, and try and get a good idea of where we are and where the hell my sister has disappeared off to. And I yell her name, Beatrix, again. And I'm assuming that my voice will probably echo throughout the forest, and it's very spooky and very eerie.
Yeah, so the voice, the scream or yell kind of echoes throughout the forest, and it's very loud. Everybody can hear it, but it doesn't seem like you're worried about alarming everybody in the area. You're more interested in finding your sister than anything.
Absolutely.
But it is met with nothing but silence.
Damn. Sorry, my life.
So at this point, Lyris kind of stands up, brushes himself off. Oh, what sort of magic is this? Delilah, do you know of this? Have you? And she kind of like just stumbles for words, just in awe. I've never, Lyris is, Lyris knows magic, but has never seen anything of this sort of nature.
Can I make an Arcana check or something to see if I recognize the spell?
You can make an Arcana check as well. Mm-hmm.
Okay, one sec. Let me get it up. Wow. Okay, upsetting. I rolled a 7, which means my natural roll was a 2.
You have never seen your sister even attempt to pull off something like this, and you barely even knew she had magical abilities. So this is a surprise. This is like a total 180 from what you've known for her. So she's picked up a few skills apparently.
Can I roll?
Yeah, by all means, go ahead.
Actually, something's
something hinky's going on here.
Why is it gone?
What yours?
My there. Never mind. It's here. Never mind. It's me being silly. Did I do it? Oh.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
13. Okay, so you're a bit more familiar because you've been around and you kind of seen more things than Delilah at this point. You're thinking about what this could mean and what just happened, and you've never really seen magic this strong before, and so you can imply that the fact that this magic isn't really something that you've known or something you know could be learned. You think that she's sort of channeling some sort of energy of some sort, some sort of magical ability, or something is doing something through her.
Oh.
So I kind of I'm kind of looking at my arms and looking at my hands a little bit, and kind of feeling my armor a little bit, and I turn to Alora, and I hand her one of the Legion's daggers that I have on my hand, and then hold out my finger. Prick me, do it.
Prick.
What? With pleasure.
And as I give
me now.
As I give you the knife, I say, look, this. I know of sleep spells. They're very, very common magic. I can't explain a shared dream, but surely this has to be asleep. Try and wake me.
I mean, the easier way would have been to just pinch his skin or something.
That's too late.
Dagger and just decapitates him.
Oh, his throat.
Stab him right in the heart.
Stab me. Okay.
No. Yeah. Okay. Alora, kind of looks a little bit like and then kind of makes sense of it, and she pricks Lyris's finger.
Starts bleeding a bit.
She eats the blood.
Oh, wow.
She slurps that shit up. Her color returns to her skin.
Oi.
So
I am
Good-
Halloween
goodness.
episode. Laura gone wild.
So noticing that obviously it hasn't done anything, I kind of place my hand out as if to kind of say, "Hey, dagger back, please." What- yeah, and then kind of turn, kind of looking down this path, and talk kind of to both of them. This must be some kind of test. If it was a trap, it would have been, we'd already be dead by now. Is it? Do you think do you think your sister might have done this to save us? Is this a way out?
Delilah is very confused. She looks at him with a very she is almost a little bit unhinged at this point. Her sister has obviously done something that was not very expected. She's taking orders from someone, which is very much unlike her as well. So everything that Delilah knows is kind of being thrown up into the air, and she's not really in a state to really have meaningful conversation. I suppose she'll probably need to be calmed down a little bit, actually.
Mm.
Okay, well, Alora turns to Lyris and she's gonna say, you know, I've seen magic like this. I haven't seen. No, wait, I've seen a lot of magic. I haven't seen magic as good as this. There we go. My brain work.
haven't seen not magic like this
haven't
before.
seen not magic like this. I am magic. That's what she says.
Okay.
Does she really? Wow.
Well, look, we can't stand here. Let's just follow the path. For all we know, this is her helping us.
I don't really trust it, but let's go.
Let's go, boys.
Can you just out of
go.
character? Can you imagine the look of Dry Bones' face if he's created this lovely Halloween episode, and the first thing we do is turn away and go 180 from the clear, obvious way forward?
Yeah, he's like, I don't trust that shit.
Oh no,
Let's go.
behind you. There's a solid tree line. It's only a path forward. You guys are
Okay.
like on the like a full circle. You have to go forward.
We chop down all the trees.
That's up to you. That's up
No.
to you.
It's like the Shivering Isles in Oblivion. You can only go one way.
With that, Lyris will actually kind of start walking, taking the lead, kind of looking at Delilah and kind of giving her a bit of a kind of a nod and a smile as if to be like, you know, it's gonna be okay. Stay with me, kind of that sort of look.
Head pat.
Little head pat, yeah.
Oh, I still have my teddy bear, right?
Yeah. All your
Alright.
items are with you.
Let's ask it the way out.
She is clinging to that shit. She is holding onto it for dear life. Like she's squeezing it so hard, the head might just pop off.
Can I just say, what if we ask it for a way out, and because if there's no way out, imagine his arm just going like whoa everywhere.
Just going everywhere like, I don't
His
know.
arm just
The bear's
falls
just
off.
like shrug.
I don't know. This was on you, man.
Okay, so yeah, I start walking forward. You two follow me.
Yes.
All right. So you guys begin walking a little, and you guys notice that the fog is very low to the ground, and every step you take, you kind of part the fog a little bit, just where you stand, and then it kind of immediately fills back up. And so it's very eerie, I would suppose. And so I'm gonna need everybody at this point to roll a perception check.
Ooh.
6 for me. Oh yeah, I'm
Are you
blind.
kidding me? Ugh, I got a 9, but my advantage would have been 23.
I got a 10.
We
Okay.
did not do well.
So I would say all of you at this point start to see kind of eyes that open up at the edge of your vision, and they're deep yellow eyes, and they're kind of feral looking. And whenever you turn your head, they go away. And this happens multiple times as you're walking through the forest on each side.
That's a certifiable bruh moment.
So
Okay.
okay.
If you want to say something, go ahead. I was just going to continue.
As Lyris, I was literally just gonna say I was gonna keep my head straight, and kind of talk, but like, you know how sometimes you do it where you talk but don't move your mouth as much, so it's not obvious that you're talking. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but they can see us.
You'd be a terrible ventriloquist.
Keep,
Um,
just keep walking, but be ready.
Delilah is holding on to. You got a cape on, Lyris?
I do.
Mhm.
I do.
You can
It's a
hang on
nice.
to my clothes.
No,
Alora
I don't
does
really have a cape.
Alora does have a nice cape.
It's all
Okay,
white
well,
and pretty for
I'm
you.
Cloak,
holding on
yeah.
to Alora's cape then.
Cloak, I guess, yeah.
Like with a tight
Take
fist.
that,
Like
Lyris.
yeah, you would have to. Yeah, you'd have to do some considerable damage to me to make me let go at this point. I am scared.
So you have a teddy bear and you're clinging to another.
I am clinging to the
her cloak.
closest adult.
It's just like mom and dad going with their kid for a walk or
I
something.
swear,
She has
like-
like a teddy bear or whatever. She's like holding on.
Same age as you. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm like 17.
She's lived a sheltered life, though.
You're still older than me. It's okay.
Same
It's
height.
all about the maturity. It's about the maturity.
I mean, yeah.
So at this point, you guys begin to keep walking, and although you're kind of bracing yourself for what may come next, you start to see, you start to hear first. You start to hear a sort of higher pitched laugh and a slight whimper at the same time. So there's a higher pitched laugh and a small and like a sort of like mellow whimper at the same time.
Oh no.
Pennywise?
Continuing on for a little bit more, the forest starts to open up. And so you get to your first kind of like clearing in the middle of the forest. And this is the first thing that the path has really led you to out of everything. And so what you see, you see what looks like to you a skeleton, clothed in a black top hat with a blue ribbon wrapped slightly above the brim, a black tuxedo with a blue handkerchief in his right breast pocket, with dark green baggy pants and have stitch marks in them to have indicated some sort of wear, and what other colors of fabric. I said with other colors of patterns and fabric in a few other areas to patch up where they might have ripped. Sitting next to this figure is what seems to be an elven gentleman wearing what seems to be a simple peasant clothing and whimpering at the same time. These two figures are sitting on two stumps, with the larger stump in the middle of the two, holding what seems to be a chessboard. And you can see that the skeleton is kind of like he's laughing. He says, he's starting to laugh, and the other one's like, he's very afraid, and you begin to hear him say, "Come on, Gerald, you know I have other business to attend to rather than disgrace you in another game of chess."
Chess, guys. Easy clap. Let's fucking go. Beat him in a chess game. We leave. Let's go.
End of session.
I love the idea of just a laughing skeleton, by the way, just going, fuck you, Gerald. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you and your chess skills.
Cigar. And the kid says, "Please, I'm begging you." And he says, "It's your move, Gerald." And he says, as the elven gentleman, what seems to make a move with his, what you see to be a king, he kind of makes a move. And the skeleton suddenly says, "Checkmate." And then an elven gentleman yells, "No, no." And he gets up and he runs away from the game. And the skeletal figure points his finger at the man running towards he's running towards you guys to escape. And the skeletal figure points his finger at the guy and turns the elven gentleman into a full-on chess pawn. And he falls silently into the damp grass with a thud, motionless and audioless.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry about that. He was a sore loser. My name is Humorous Marrow. Nice to meet
God,
you.
yes.
But my friends call me Humorous.
I kind of like, so Lyris is going to, a little bit shakily, put out his hand. I'm Lyris. Nice to meet you, sir.
And he says, "Ooh, nice to meet you." And he kind of bends over. He picks up he gets out up the stump. He goes over. He picks up the pawn on the floor, sticks it in his jacket, and then when you go and look back at the chessboard isn't even there anymore. And so when Lyris outstretches his hand, he says, "Nice to meet you." And he goes and he shakes your hand. And then you guys watch here. You guys watch as Lyris. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Lyris explodes into a billion pieces,
fucking
basically.
what?
and so
Lyris is dead.
and so you guys see as Humorous is holding basically like Lyris's arm with his detached armor, and you can see that he, like literally like Lyris splattered like all over the place, and just so you know, Lyris, you take 400 damage.
Oh god.
And Humorous is kind of like and he sees you guys kind of like, well, what do you guys do? What do you guys do at this point?
I'm screaming. I'm screaming.
Get ready to fight this man.
And so he's laughing as you guys are kind of screaming. And he says, "Oh man, you guys need to take a joke." And so basically, you guys see his Lyris. He kind of goes, and Lyris basically pulls back in, and he goes, and he's shaking Humorous's hand, and he shakes his hand and says, "Nice to meet you."
So as I'm shaking his hand, can I cast Divine Sense? Les.
Yeah, go ahead.
So as Divine Sense doesn't get used very often, I'm just going to very quickly read it out nice and quickly for the podcast. So the presence of strong evil registers on my senses like a noxious odor, and powerful good rings heavenly music in your ears. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Until the end of my next turn, I know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that's not behind total cover. I know the type of them. I know any being I sense, but not their identity. Within the same radius, I can also detect any place or object that's been consecrated or desecrated. But yeah, so I just want to kind of use it and just see if it's just him around, and just to actually see if he is undead or whether he is not real.
So at this point, how it's been from your perspective is basically you were out to go and stretch your hand, like you went outstretched your hand. He met your handshake. You shook hands. Everything went black, and then for like 10 seconds, and then you're back where you were. And so you cast kind of Divine Sense, and everything about you, every feeling you have tells you that he's neutral, but he is like he's something unused to what he's like. You're not used to dealing with things such as him. You can't really place what he is, but you can just say that you're not really used to dealing with things that are like him.
Okay, that makes sense. But I thought I was gonna wake up then. Yeah. So nice to meet you. I'm Lyris. Can you tell us where we are?
So the Humorous kind of like takes back his hand. He kind of like wipes off his hand because you can see there's like blood on it, and you can see that on the girls behind you, they have like some spatters of blood on them as well.
You didn't mention that.
Yeah, so you know,
we look like Carrie.
No, if Lyris explodes and he goes into like a million pieces, I think you're getting some blood on you.
Sorry, for some reason when you said exploded, I didn't think that you meant like body parts exploded. I thought you meant like he just kind of, oh god, I don't know, just kind of.
No, a nuke didn't go off. His body just
exploded.
No, his body just combusted.
Oh, okay,
meant, like,
cool.
I don't know, exploded into like bubbles or like I don't know, fell
bubbles.
No, we're talking about the real biology
exploded
here.
into the leaves. Those are the leaves that we fell into before. They're actually just dead bodies.
I didn't think full on like exploded body parts.
Oh no,
like
he literally just combusted.
Oh yikes!
So
Humorous notice he has no blood on him, and he kind of wipes off his hand on his pants though, and he says, "Well, the thing is, I don't even know where I am. I'm just kind of here. I just kind of showed up here.
Identity crisis.
It's pretty fun. I get to hang out with people like you." And he kind of looks at you, and he looks at the girls who are still, I'm assuming, absolutely still terrified. But I mean,
I don't know about Alora. I'm very much.
Tap him.
I am shell shocked. This is out of character for Delilah, by the way, to be like this. But given that she's just seen her sister, and her sister's just kind of booted her out into an alternate dimension, apparently, yeah, she's freaked out.
I mean, yeah.
And one of your companions just exploded in front of you.
Yeah, I was ready to kill
that too.
Man. He exploded Lyris in front of me. I was ready.
Just so you know, Charlie, if you're talking in terms of hit points, you lost 400 hit points and then you gained them all back.
I presumed so.
Just making sure. I don't know, you like on like 0.5 HP or something like that. But yes, so he's like, So, I'm here to do my job. You want to follow me?
I have many questions.
I have many questions.
How did you get here? Did you fall as well?
Oh no, I can be here. And then he says, you look at him and then you see he's gone. Like you blink and he's gone. And then he's behind Aurora and Delilah. And he's like, I could be here. And he says, and he blinks and he's like in the tree line. I could be over here.
Did you just say I slap him?
Yeah.
You go for the slap, but when you go to
punch him.
yeah, when you go for a punch, he's just gone and he appears in the forest. And he's like, I could be over here. And he appears right in front of you again. I could be pretty much anywhere, but you know, this seemed like a fun spot to be in. You guys are here. I've been curiously watching you.
We've only been here like 40 seconds. What the fuck? How the hell?
I would say it's been around more 15 minutes of just like walking basically, but yes.
Damn it.
Well, okay. How do we get out?
Well, you could let me do my job and you could follow me, or you could sit here and keep crying about what your situation is or how I maybe exploded your friend.
And what's
To be
the job?
fair, it's fair for us to cry about that. Thank you very much. It's a very traumatizing thing to witness.
What are you guys talking
actually.
about?
Oh no.
Exploded in front of us into
Yeah,
tiny millions.
yeah, this is your blood.
And I kind of like look around me. What? Guys, you're the only sane thing around here. Don't do this to me.
I think we should move on. It's getting a little too meta.
And I kind of shake my head and just look back to him. Fine. Look, what's the job?
You just gotta follow me. That's it. A to B. Simple. And he says, "Ooh, it's a pretty teddy bear you got there." And he blinks.
No.
And you see the teddy bear is now in his hand. He says,
No.
Fine craftsmanship. I don't know you had something this old.
All right, Delilah starts freaking out and says, "Give me back my bear."
Oh, will do. I just didn't think you liked old stuff such as this. I haven't seen something like this in a long, long time. And he kind of, and then you see the teddy bear's back in your arms. He says, "Very, very curious. I never thought I'd see something like that."
She kind of gives him the stink eye, basically, but doesn't say anything else. She's like, nah. She doesn't make that sound, but that's kind of like the aura she's giving off. Nah.
So, I have one question for you. Why is it always very loud in a graveyard?
Give me a second. I can get this.
You hear in the background. You hear in the background like a doom 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 doo doo doom.
Oh fuck.
Doom 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 doom. Dude, you don't know where the music's coming from. You assume he's behind it, but you can't put it down for sure.
Wait.
He's like ding ding ding. Time's up because of all the coughing.
Oh.
And so you hear like a laugh track in the background, like it's just a bunch of like group of people talking, like, and you hear this laughing, like the laughter is like coming out of the sky basically, and you hear the laughter like above you basically, and he's like, oh, and trust me, you'll have much more jokes like that, and my wonderful company if you follow me.
I think I'd rather die, but I do need to find Beatrix again.
Now, I'm just going to say, like, because Lyris obviously has not been traumatized at all at this point. I mean, apart from the guy being turned into a pawn in front of him, like, obviously, I didn't know about the explosion. And, you know, Lyris does love his jokes. Like, Lyris burst into laughter with the fake audience that was heard. And kind of like, you almost see like a little bit of a change in Lyris, as if, like, almost returning to a bit of comfortableness. All right, just lead the way.
With pleasure. And he kind of goes, follow me, come on. And Lyra starts to walking. He says, and you guys kind of stay behind. Come on, ladies, I'm talking to you too.
And I kind of like look back at them and gesture like, come on.
I very reluctantly continue, and I have an even tighter grip on the bear now that I know that it can leave my hands at literally any moment. I'm like, no, you stay away from my bear. Yeah, I'm holding on to Allura again.
So, and you guys are starting to walk through the forest. I've been observing a lot about you guys. You guys have been very fun to watch. Not weird though. Like I don't watch the weird part. I'm kind of more of a peaceful observer. Whenever it strikes me the mood. But you guys have been very interesting. Group of friends now off to save the world. What's the deal behind that?
How did you know that?
Oh, I know lots of things. And he goes and he kind of snaps his fingers, and you see like books start to like fall all over the floor to the left and right. If you guys not in front of you, there's like to the left and right, you just see like books start to like pile up like on all your sides. And he says, "Oh yeah, lots of reading, watching, that kind of thing." He says, "Ooh, by the way, Lyris, can I have your coin?"
I take it out of my pocket and toss it towards him with a spin.
He goes and he goes and you see his arm kind of like stretch out and catch it. Dink.
Is it not going to activate during the air?
That
was the plan.
It does activate. So I would say when you like look at him, when you get your 10 seconds basically clarity, you see that he's gray.
Okay. For reference, the reason why I threw that is because I knew he was going to frickin' take it anyway.
And so he basically takes it. You hear a tink, and he says, "Ooh, very curious. I wanted to get a closer look because I only saw it from a distance. It's a bit dusty. I think you need to clean it off a bit."
Careful, if you rub it, a genie might come out.
And he starts laughing. He's like, "Oh no, but it's fake gold too. I hate fool's gold. It's not really worth your time." And he kind of throws it, and he kind of like he chucks it at you, but like thing is, you catch it, but you kind of like skid back a little bit. He threw it at you pretty hard,
almost as if like the coin had some weight.
Yeah, he threw it at you. You caught it, and then but like your feet kind of like drag for a little bit, as if he's like pushed you back by how hard he threw it.
Damn. I kind of just like a bit in awe, like just put it back in my pocket. And just keep walking.
He goes, and you guys start walking for another like 15 minutes. You guys get some awful puns, just like really bad puns.
Lyris laughs at every single one.
Yeah. And so he kind of like leads you guys to another forest clearing. And so you guys look inside, and he says, "But yeah, that's what I've been doing here. I've been playing chess. I don't get really enough opponents around here." And he kind of looks around, and he says, all the other teammates are kind of feral.
Feral.
Anyway. Oh yeah, you think those eyes are just coincidence?
I was wondering what those were. Are they anything to and I kind of do this as I kind of look around. Worry about?
Oh no, they're just dogs. You know about dogs. Don't know any better. But what I can say is that you've arrived at your destination. And he like gestures towards like a cave opening.
Death.
Death.
You've arrived at your destination. Death.
He gestures towards you guys, and he goes, and you guys see him. He walks over and goes like and sits on a rock next to the cave entrance. "Well, I've done my job here. I brought you to where you needed to go. I believe this is where you're supposed to go." And he kind of like gestures towards the cave entrance.
So you said that if we followed you, you'd get us out. Is this the way out?
He thinks for a moment. Yes.
I kind of turn to the other two and just kind of shrug and be like, I guess this is the only way we've seen.
I mean,
you don't have to go in there. You could always just sit with me, and he kind of like pull some stumps out of the ground and put some back on the. You can always play chess with me.
No. I'll take the cave. I'll take the cave.
I want to play chess with him.
Delilah has never played chess, so she's just going to watch if this happens.
Alora and actually Bunny has never played chess before in her life. Let's do a chess match.
All right, let me run you
Alright,
through the rules
so-
super quick.
All right. So you're gonna run chess, right? But I'm just gonna make it easy so we don't have to actually play an actual game of chess while we're playing D&D because it's pretty meta. But we can just do so. Basically, we'll just roll a flat D20. Whoever rolls higher wins.
So as
nice.
wait. So as I kind of see Alora kind of jumping up and down a little bit excited, eyes widened of the excited to play chess, I kind of like put my arm in front of her for a second, be like, I feel like you're a man that enjoys a bit of a bet. I got a proposal.
Ooh, yes. I love more chess pieces.
You if you lose, you give us the straight, honest answer of where we are and the way out.
Well, that's assuming I haven't been telling you the truth this entire time.
In which case, you've got nothing to lose.
Fair enough. And he says, you see him kind of like pull up his chest. He pulls an entire chess board out of his coat, and he out of his tux basically, and he puts it. He kind of like pulls it like out of like the neck collar area, and he puts it on the table, and all the pieces are already set up. But if I win, you get to be my pretty pawn.
Oh. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's
So,
go, boys.
Would you rather get knowledge or death, or
Death.
what you assume to be death? But
Give me a second.
so are you want to take the bet? I am. I have nothing to lose, like you said.
I mean, am I gonna be the one that's gonna turn into a pawn because I'm playing chess with you, or does Charlie? I mean, does.
Oh no, I can make it fair. I can turn you all into chess pieces.
No, just one of us is fine.
Preferably not me.
What about the bird?
And he kind of
No. I point at Laris and I'm like, don't you dare look at Saul.
and he looks at the bird. And he says, "Ooh, pretty."
I
He's like, "That's a pretty
point
bird."
at the skeleton and go, don't you dare look at my bird.
And you see, he says, "What are you talking about? It's a horse."
Okay, what about this?
As he says, it's a horse. You look at his hand, and you see there's a horse piece, chess piece in his hand.
Is Saul still on my hat?
No, he's not there.
Ooh, I'm gonna freak the fuck out, okay?
He says, "What? Who's afraid of losing a horse?" Hey.
Can I go up and grab the skeleton by his bony fucking spinal throat, please, and say through gritted teeth, "Give my bird back."
Yeah, so you walk up to him. He says, "Whoa, no need to be so hasty." And he says, you walk over to him and you kind of grab him by his tux. And he stands there. He's like, and you can see he kind of like a limp. And when you grab him, like it's literally just like a skeleton in the thing. So you can like literally just pull him, and like there's not much to like give or whatever. And he says, "Well, no, to be so hasty. Come on.
I think
All we're doing is playing a game. Come on." And he says, and he goes and he tosses the horse chess piece across the field, and you can see the bird turns back into existence, and you can see Saul kind of like starts crowing like mad after he turns back into a crow.
So
Delilah is seething and says, "I am this fucking close to boiling your rib cage."
Oh, trust me, my dear. I wouldn't look more forward to it.
Oh.
Well, that's a bit kinky.
So whilst this is all happening, you can kind of see Laris kind of sitting and thinking. And kind of he turns back to the skeleton and says, "If we win, you tell us where we are and the way out. If you win, you don't need any more pawns. You've shown you've got enough of them already. That's no use to you. You seem like a man of good taste. You seem like a man who knows the value of items you find." And then I pull out one of my Legion daggers of Steel Fist steel. You'd know where this came from?
Ooh, of course, the Steel Fist Legion. bunch of crusty old men run that.
Krusty agreed. Know how to make a dagger? Also agreed.
And he goes and you see he like points towards the ground. And you see like a bunch of steel fist armor sets kind of like fall on the ground. He says, they've lost a lot of chess matches to me. I'd love to get another set.
Then it's a deal.
Alrighty. and he goes, he says, so who's going to be one to sit on the stump and play with me? I'm very interested to know. Ooh. And he says, take a seat. And he gestures towards you. And you can see that he says, 1 second, got to make the seat all nice. And you see as the seat, which was just a stump before, kind of grows out, and there's like tree limbs that forms like a backing to the chair. And it makes like 2 armrests, and the what you sit on has become leaves. He says, there we go. A seat built from a lady.
Thank you.
Tim's hat, milady.
Wow, you're such a simp.
Well,
Nice skeletons finish last.
shall we begin?
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to be a straight roll.
Okay.
All right,
Oh no.
A 9. Here we go. That is a 12.
Oh. Wait, I'll do it. I'll do it next.
Best of 3. Okay, look, there's 3 of us. Best of 3. Can I roll a persuasion check?
And he's like, oh man, what a shame. And he goes and he kind of like points at Lyris, and you see that all of his armor kind of falls off, and it's just a pawn like in like steel fist Norwegian armor. He says, man, doesn't feel satisfying. I don't know. Once you've had 1 set of armor, you've had 1,000.
I wasn't giving you all of my armor.
No, wait, he
Well-
turned you into a pawn, didn't he?
Yeah, you turned into a
Yeah.
pawn.
Oh.
Oh, fuck. Hang
And
on.
this
Shit.
That wasn't the
I'm
deal.
gonna fucking die in here.
Yeah, sure. You see what I meant when I like kind of like was like, this is a twisted reality.
I mean, I can't talk, can I?
And I was like, well, and we have for seconds. I could always use another hat. And he kind of points towards Delilah.
Delilah is very attached to her hat. But looking at the little piece for Lyris now just kind of sitting there, she feels some guilt. And she feels a pang of regret. And she's very sad to see her, she would never say this out loud, friend gone. So yeah, she says, all right, you can have my hat if you win. But if I win, you give me back Lyris.
Oh, how heartwarming. And he says,
Tell me about it.
won't be necessary. And he said, he kind of points towards Lyris. And Lyris, you come back fully formed in your armor. He says, but, and you see Lyris is like completely normal. I must make one exception. He did lose a bet. And he kind of points towards your head, and your head becomes a chess pawn, and has your face on it. He says, sorry, buddy, how the game's played.
And I'm guessing, like, you know, it's not like I've got a mirror in front of me. I just go.
It's just like you're deaf. You're just deaf. What?
I've got no ears.
Can you speak though?
No, yeah, you know, I just imagine it's like magical. So it's like, I'm just imagining like if you were just like deaf, you're like, huh? That was just me being a DM and messing. But no, your head literally is a chess pawn. You can hear and you can talk and everything. But
I mean, I haven't got a mirror in front of me, so it's not like I know that. But I'm guessing I didn't realize when I was a chess piece. I'm guessing I blacked out again.
yep.
I kind of come back and go, did I explode again?
I honestly don't know if this is better or worse, to be honest.
Okay, well, whatever happened, it's done because I'm back anyway. Did we win?
No.
Okay, and then to honor the original deal, I take out one of the Iron Legion daggers and hand it over. A deal's a deal. Let us just be on our way.
Oh no, I couldn't take such a wonderful gift. You've already given me such a wonderful gift, the gift of entertainment. And trust me, when a place is drab as like this, you want some entertainment. And so I will tell you though, and he says he pulls up a mirror, and a mirror appears in front of you. You do look dashing.
So I kind of just like absolutely, yeah, I just kind of recoil, and then start like holding my head between my hands, kind of like feeling the material. What? Clever trick.
Well, yes. So, would you like to play another game of chess? Honestly, I thought the game of chess would be secondary for you people since you're trying to escape. But I guess playing games with a skeleton named Humorous is one of your priorities instead. But I can tell you that the cave entrance is right there, and that is the reason you are here. And I can tell you, Mr. Mornshield, that you should enter the cave for your answers, or answers that you so desperately want.
I mean, can we get his head back, please? I don't want to be talking to a wooden head of no feature.
Well, he has eyes and a mouth, and he kind of like points, and you have eyes and mouth now. He says, "There you. That's all you need, really. You could talk before, but now you can like actually talk. Like, well, you can like. It looks like,
so, due to something he said, during that kind of last little speech, Lyris kind of his face dropped, almost like gone from, you know, Lyris was actually relatively enjoying the humor and the lightness of the situation, even though it was quite dark, grim. But no, Lyris's face kind of goes completely like serious. Change me back. We'll be on our way.
Oh, if you once you finish the cave or whatever, you see what's in there. I'll do it without you even asking me to.
I asked this time. I kind of put one hand on my sword. I'll happily roll an intimidation check if you want. Change me back. We'll be on our way.
Just for I do want you to roll an intimidation check for fun.
Please be in that one.
17.
17.
Well, fuck.
Well, don't be so grim. And he says, "Fine." And he turns your head back to normal, and he turns Delilah's hat into a chess pawn. There we go, back to normal.
Do I notice the change in weight now that I have like what seems
your
like
head just goes,
a wooden hat on my head?
It's less flexible.
Is it like fused to my head, or is it just kind of sitting on the top?
It's sitting on the top.
Okay, I'm gonna say now that Saul starts kind of pecking at it, a little bit like a woodpecker almost.
For sure.
And he does not like it.
Alrighty. Well, with that sorted out, would you like to go into the cave now?
Yeah.
Promise, no takesies backsies.
Delilah is seething, but it's probably the better alternative to having Lyris's head as a wooden chess piece. So she crosses her arms sulkily around the bear. Of course, she's still holding it, and she pointedly looks away with a sniff, like "fuck you" kind of thing.
And with that, turn and walk in, I think.
Yeah.
So you guys walk in, and with Delilah's head still is like Delilah's like hat is still a pawn. You guys walk into the cave.
Yeah, I have a weak neck. My head is hurting.
Delilah, you do bonk the thing on the bit of, on the like the top of the
Damn
cave.
it, bonk.
Bonk. But you guys do walk in, and he says, "By the way," and he kind of like yells into the cave as you guys are like entering the mouth of the cave. "I'm sorry, Aurora. I did think it was a bit over the top." And he kind of, as he does it, you see a stone kind of slides in front of the entrance, closing it.
What?
And so, right now, you guys looking into like the cave currently, Leaders you can't see, Delilah you can't see, Aurora you can see, but there is like the fog covered floor still follows you into the mouth of the cave, and something about like the void in front of you that kind of looking at the cave, something kind of draws you in yet scares you at the same time. So it's something that's like the cave beckons for your attention and wants you to continue, but you know, as like a person that's kind of weary of danger at this point, you're kind of like, I don't know, man, it's kind of sus. But yeah, so at this point, Lyris, though you can't see. After he covered the cave entrance, you can't really see. Allura, you can see, but I think at this point you can assume that they can't because they're like, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Should I cast firebolt so you guys can see.
That would be appreciated.
Please.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. This is Draven said it.
So yeah, so you're so in your hand, and it's kind of in your hand, fireball kind of like it's fire. I mean, for this campaign, I'm usually kind of flexible in light sources because it's an annoying thing to deal with. So around you, you can see Lyris, Aurora, you're in the middle. Lyris, you're on the right, and Delilah, you're on the left. Lyris, you do notice. Everybody does notice Delilah's hat,
Fuck.
and it is pretty funny.
No, it's not funny. No.
I kind of like I
Um,
go to chuckle but hold it back because like I'm a little bit. No, I'm still in serious mode, Lyris. But I still let out a little bit of a.
Yeah, Delilah
So-
glares at him.
So I assume what are you guys going to do at this point? Are you just going to keep walking?
I'm gonna kind of turn around and kind of put my hand on the stone behind us, just kind of getting a feel to see whether it's like movable or whether we are basically trapped in.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
Even if you tried, you couldn't. It's like a giant stone slab that's been moved in front of it.
As I kind of turn around, I kind of say, "Well, I guess the only way is forward." Yeah, I don't know what else I can do at this point.
All right. So you guys continue walking forward. You guys walk for about 5 minutes or so, discussing the fact that what the hell was that? First off, second of all, you guys continue walking, and then you guys see that the cave starts to open up a little bit. Now, at this point, the fog on the floor is completely gone, and you guys see what seems to be a single glowing orb in the middle of basically a giant cavern. From this orb, there's a faint blue light that kind of encapsulates it, and the orb itself is blue, and it pulses with this sort of color. And when you guys kind of like look towards each other and see when you guys kind of like look at each other and say, what the hell is going on? Like, what is that thing? Just confirm you're seeing what you're all seeing. None of you are there. So for Lyris, Aurora and Delilah, they're not next to you. For Aurora, Delilah and Lyris are not next to you, and so on.
Oh no.
You are the only one in the room besides the orb, and your other companions are not there. And that goes for all of you.
This is the worst possible situation for Delilah to be in right now.
Oh, Delilah, you notice that the what seems to be a heavy wooden piece becomes now a fabric hat once
Oh,
more.
thank God. Is Saul still with me, or is he not
No,
there for me either?
He's still with you,
Okay,
but
good.
he's the only thing that is with you, besides the orb, of course.
Okay.
So now that each of you guys realize that you are alone in this room, the orb in this room begins to go brighter, prompting you to kind of avert your eyes. Like it's like a flashbang. You have to like kind of cover your eyes, and like it's like a bright light that is shining. It's like waking up from bed, but then you have like a spotlight showing in your face. So you're like you have to like avert your eyes basically for each of you. And when each of you look at this orb, it's taken form. Now, for this form, for Lyris, this form, you can see two figures with a ghostly hue, with both a blue coloring. One is a beautiful woman in her late 30s with flowing gold hair, blue eyes, wearing a steel you recognize all too well, with a sheathed sword. The second, a very strong-looking male in his late 30s with a strong jawline, brown hair, wearing the same armor as the woman, with similar sword as well. However, on both these figures, you notice that their throats are both slit.
Oh God.
Aurora, you see a half-elven little girl standing in the middle of the room, golden blonde hair, brown eyes, no older than 8 years of age, wearing a worn bracelet made of old sticks and clouded gems, and in her hand with the bracelet she holds a bloodied knife, and she has a large chest wound that looks like and she's wearing a small silk dress. And for Delilah, You see a human man in his 50s standing in the middle of the room, wearing what seems to be white robes that you know all too well. Hair that is shaggy and looks like he's beginning to bald, with a weathered face. Both of his hands are empty, and he looks like he belongs in a clergy. All three of these images begin to stare at you. With that being said, what would you guys like to do? Each of you.
Okay, so first things first, as soon as I kind of noticed that the other two weren't by me, I kind of like where they were, I kind of just like sweep my hand, almost as if to be like, are they actually invisible or like
they're pretty far away from you. Like they're like you're right. You just entered this like giant
Oh
cavern.
no! I'm talking about when you initially like I didn't want to interrupt you, but like when you initially kind of said that we noticed the other two weren't with us, as in like we were by ourselves. I kind of like my first reaction is I'm like Lyris has actually turned. Like the first thing he's looking at where Alora and Delilah were, and is kind of like skirting my hand over that sort of space, as if to be like they were here a second ago, and just kind of like almost confirming it's not just my eyes; they aren't here. I then turn center towards the two figures, and kind of just stare for a moment, and give me a second. Damn, I thought I was onto something. No, so no, as I stare at these figures, although I am alone in the room, if anyone was to kind of see Laris's face, it would be one of kind of almost childish, almost like a childish horror. Imagine a child's face in despair. Laris for just a moment appears to be kind of completely childlike and in fear. And after a couple of moments of this, Laris kind of looks down and kind of says to himself, "This isn't real. This isn't real." Then looks up kind of with his eyes towards the figures, gets his hammer, and just lobs it directly at one of the figures.
All right. So, while Wires does that, what do the other two of you do? Whichever one wants to go first, go ahead.
Rhea, do you want to go first? I don't mind.
If it's okay, I would like to go last.
Okay, that's good.
All right.
Well, Alora is actually gonna do probably the exact opposite of Iris, because so Laura's just gonna stand there for like just a few seconds, and she bursts into tears of, I don't even know what emotion to call it. She's kind of in so much shock she doesn't even think about the danger of whatever the heck this could be. She just sees that figure standing there, and she's gonna try and run towards it.
Alrighty. Delilah?
So Delilah starts to shake violently, and she scrunches her eyes tight. She puts her hands over her ears as well, and she sort of crouches down to the ground, still on her feet, but she has her face hidden, and she's just muttering to herself over and over, "It's not real, it's 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 not real." Saul is silent, by the way.
By the way, at this point, you recognize or you realize that your teddy bear is not in your hands. What you speak for is it's like in your bag now. You basically have to get it back out. You can feel that it went from your hands into your bag.
Okay. Well, yeah. Delilah still is. Her hands are now like around her knees, basically her face buried into her knees, and She very much looks like she's a very young child at this point. Very, very afraid and trying to make sense of everything.
All right. So at this point, we will snap back to Lyris's perspective. And so, Lyris, I want you to roll the hit with your hammer.
12.
You hit. So go ahead and roll damage. Which one were you aiming for?
The male figure.
Okay.
7 bludgeoning.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so at that point, you see that you say to yourself, it's not real. You throw the hammer and it hits the male basically on the face. And when it hits him in the face, it hits him, and you can see that the hammer kind of like bounced off, indicating that they can be hit by physical objects. And he kind of like look towards you, and you could say, the one woman says, "How dare you hit your father like that?"
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o.
And they're both going to charge at you. And so, if you don't mind, Lyris, do you mind rolling for initiative? Yeah, initiative.
10.
All right. Alrighty. So, I'll go get the board real quick. We'll come back to everybody else's perspective, but this can be interesting, balancing this. I'll be right back. All right. So the ghost rolled an initiative of 8. So Charlie, you're going to go ahead and go first.
So just to be clear, I'm the blue dice, and is the red dice the male figure?
The thing in front of you. Both of them.
Both
of them are.
Both of them
both of them are represented by that.
Oh, okay, no worries. Okay. Seeing that my hammer hit him. What did he say to me again? It was
the woman. The woman figure said, "How dare you hit your father like that?"
I kind of I kind of look up. Right hand. At this point, I'll have my kind of shield in my left hand, my right hand on my sword, which is currently sheathed to my left hand side, and just go. Kind of look at them. My face kind of like, my whole head's slightly shaking. My face kind of starting to show that, almost like Lyris has had enough of this. Like, he's had enough of these games. And he just goes, "How dare you even mimic her?" And just charge forward. And this time, my first attack, I'm going to swing diagonally down, like from the right, with one hand, going essentially for the kind of like the neck area of the female entity. I'm not even going to call her my mother. Female entity.
All right, yeah, go ahead and roll for damage.
This is one.
Roll to hit.
This is one-handed. I roll a 12.
That hits.
And damage-wise, 7 slashing.
All right. So you go and you slash the woman, across, and you said the neck, right?
Yeah, kind of like the neck shoulder area.
And you said that was how much damage? Sorry.
7 slashing.
Okay, thank you. You managed to land a hit, and they're already slit on the throat. So you managed and go and you swing again, and you just open the wound again. It was kind of like dried basically, but yeah, you go and you do even more damage in that one specific spot. So it's going to be go ahead and be their turn. They are going. They are both simultaneously going to. They're going to hit you with their swords, and this is going to count as one attack. So I'll go and roll the hit. That is a 8.
That would be a miss. 18 is my armor class.
Yeah, so they go swing at the same time. They both swing, like yelling viciously at you, and they swing, but you manage to dodge out of the way. You know better. It's your turn again.
Does the Do either of them look injured? Considering one's taken 7. Well, actually, they've both taken 7 damage at this point. Do either of them look injured, or even like they've taken? Does it look like they've even taken damage?
Yes, they have. They do look more injured than they were when you got here.
I kind of like hold my shield in front of me, and like with my sword again to kind of. I can't remember the last time I described it, but my shield is described as quite a long body shield, but it's kind of got like a little cutout. If you were holding it with your left hand, for those that like really want descriptive, if you were holding the shield of your left arm, there's a cutout on the right hand side, so that like if you had a spear or something be there. So as I'm holding the shield like that, I've got the sword kind of like almost where the end of my sword is through there, almost like you imagine how you do as like a snooker cue through your hand, like that, but with the sword, as if I'm about to attack again. And I just say, whatever you are, stop this act. Lose that form and show your true self.
All right. So go ahead and roll to hit.
I'm not even rolling to hit. That is my turn. I'd be happy to roll a either performance or intimidation or whatever check you want in terms of what I say. But that's my turn. Is that?
Yeah, I'll say check. So go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
14.
All right. So they look at you. They will both look at you. And they say, "How dare you betray the Legion, you coward!" And so one of them's going. The mother and father are both going to swing again. This one's going to be a multi-attack, so they're going to try and hit you twice.
That's fine.
First attack is a 18.
Okay.
So that is going to be, so does 18 hit?
18 is my armor class, so that would be hit, yeah.
Okay, and then the second one is another 18. So
okay.
That's good. So they roll one of these. They do around 10 points of piercing damage to you.
Between them, yeah.
Yeah, both the multi-attack do that much damage, yeah. So, with that being said, it's your turn once more.
So I kind of like, kind of holding my side a little bit from the hit. I kind of casually put my shield on my back and move my second hand onto my longsword. And as I say, I kind of like coughing up a little bit of blood, but kind of letting out a bit of a... I knew it. You could never even be them. You couldn't even hold the performance for just a little while. It'll bring me pleasure removing you from this darkness and bring you to the light. And as I say that, I'm just gonna, considering they're in close proximity and it's a longsword and two-handed, can I make a kind of a slash attack to try and slice them both from the middle?
Yeah, by all means, go ahead.
So this will be rolling with two hands. 12 again.
12 does hit again.
12 slashing.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. So you do that, and you manage to hit them both. You pierce their armor, and you see that what would have been shards escaping regular armor, their armor kind of like breaks off, and it seems to kind of splinter. If it was like with its fragility of their armor isn't what the Steel Fist Legion armor is used to. So you can start to see that the armor has flaws as well. So it's their turn again.
Oh damn!
They're gonna go ahead and. That's your one, so they don't hit. So they go to swing for you. You once again, you know better. You go when they swing. At this point, you're starting to recognize how they fight. You've been trained to notice how people fight. You've seen this before. Their style is sloppy.
Okay.
Your turn again, Lears.
I could be uninteresting and just slash them again, but no. I use my bonus kind of action. I'm going to say the word shove, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to kind of use all of my weight to kick with my left leg straight into the injured chest of the male entity. straight into the chest of the male entity to attempt to push him back.
Okay, so you managed to do so. I believe that is a. Are you okay with that, even if it counts as an action, or do you want to rethink what you're going to do?
That would have been I would have wanted that to have been a bonus action because I was then going to make an attack on my assumption, like the way I imagine it in my head, is if I've kind of like stepped forward into the kick, I would have expected him to have been shoved back, and I was expecting to kind of be literally standing right next to the female entity, pretty much close range, and I was going to make a light attack on her.
Yeah, so you push the male the male figure over, and the female figure you can go and make a slashing attack. I'll count that as a bonus action.
Okay. And I'm going to turn to her, and I'm going to pull out. Have I not added this to my thing yet? Oh no. Okay, I have. Yeah. I'm going to turn to her and say, if you were truly who you say you were. And I kind of say this in a jokingly way, as if like I know this is true. So I know I now know they aren't who they say they are. I'll be like, if you really were who you say you were, you'd recognize this. And like basically what I'm doing at this point is I'm holding up one of the Legion daggers. Oh wait, hold on a second. Oh, have I just fudged this up? 1 second, I want to double check. I'm gonna have to ask you if I fudged up, then I fudged up. But I was gonna cast and again this is because I've already used my bonus action. Because I was gonna cast Divine Smite onto the dagger to do bonus damage.
Yeah, no, you can't. Sorry.
That's fine. In which case, I'm still gonna do what my original plan anyway, and I'm going to attempt to stab her in the neck with one of the Legion daggers.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll a hit with the dagger.
Second, so I've got written down here that it was 2d4 plus 2, so I'm gonna have to actually roll dice because I haven't got it added to my weapons.
Yeah. So what you can do. So the dagger itself, I believe, was a +4 to hit.
Sorry.
So I've got written down here 2d4 plus 2. Was that the damage?
That's for damage. So if you hit, you can.
So
you just roll. Just add a +4 to your dice roll.
So sorry, what am I doing? Am I rolling a d20 or am I rolling it?
So yeah, d20, and then I assume you're proficient with like daggers.
Yes.
And like what?
My proficiency is only 2.
So, yeah, so +2, and then plus the daggers bonus, so +2.
Okay, so well, I got a 7. I got a 17 anyway in my actual dice roll. So yeah, with proficiency, that's going to be above 20.
Yeah, so that hits. So go ahead and roll for damage. Now you can roll 2d4 plus 2.
8.
All right. Yeah. So with that, you go and you stab this ethereal, like kind of woman in the neck, and you can see that the form that this figure was taking, it sort of breaks, and as you do this, the glow that they had kind of goes out, and they're like everything kind of goes dull, and then you can see that the male figure body disappears and the female body disappears, and you can see what falls to the ground, and what like actually was in your at the end of your blade, and what's in its neck is what you recognize to be, actually, can you roll? It seems to be a monster's figure in some sort of cloak with a hood covering over its face. If you don't mind, can you roll I don't even know how do you identify a monster? Just roll a investigation check for me.
Or maybe a history check.
This is more of the lines of investigation, like you were seeing what it looks like, or insight. Actually, insight.
Okay, ignore that roll then. So insight is 17. Okay,
so you recognize this character to be an Oni. They are specialized in impersonating other creatures. In this case, they impersonated your parents by using one of their magical abilities. And you can see that this Oni, after trying to pull off its intimidation to lure you into its trap, it kind of falls to the ground and starts bleeding on the ground.
Is it dead?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
That's where we're gonna leave Lyris. So that brings us now to Delilah or Aurora, which one of you would like to go first?
If Millie has hiccups, then I'll go first.
Alrighty. All right, so in front of you, you see the figure I described, the cleric, what seems to be a sort of someone belonging to the clergy in their 50s, male. So, what would you like to do at this point?
Okay, so Delilah is currently, she's crouching, obviously, trying to block out the very bright light in front of her. Whatever kind of sound is coming through, she wants to imagine that she's not in this situation whatsoever. She wants to be anywhere but here. Is there some kind of maybe an arcana check or a perception check or something that I can do on this thing when Delilah does eventually peel her hands away from her eyes to look at the figure in front of her?
You can make an arcana check since this relates to some sort of magic.
I got a 23.
Yeah, so you recognize this as some sort of illusionatory magic. But you don't know if something is playing with your mind, or you don't know if that's something else. You think it's coming from another source, but you don't know what the other source could be.
Okay. So when Delilah realizes this, she shakily gets to her feet and she says, "You're not real. I left you behind. You're not here. You're not real."
The figure says, "How dare you disgrace our god?" And so, what would you like to do at this point?
She shakes her head.
Can you roll initiative for me, actually?
Sorry?
Sorry, I interrupted, but can you roll initiative as well, just on the side as well?
Sure. I got a 5.
Okay, so you could go ahead and continue.
So she shakes her head vehemently and she says, "She is not my god. She is a means to an end. I will not worship her like you will."
And with that being said, he's actually going to say, "You disgrace," and he is gonna do something that you've never seen him do. He's actually gonna, let's see, he is going to, he's going to cast flaming hands on you.
Oh, bollocks.
Or burning hands, sorry. My bad.
That's not very good.
Let me just pull up the page for it so I can use the spell.
Mm-hmm. This could prove to be an issue, as I could die.
And so he is going to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, if you don't mind.
Yes.
He's moving closer to you.
God, can I get advantage with that? No, I got a 3, unfortunately.
Yeah, so he's gonna go ahead and carry on with burning hands,
Frick.
which is going to be this.
Oh shit! I'm gonna die.
8 points of burning damage.
Oh,
fire damage.
Shit. Okay.
And as you do that, you say, after you say that, he says, "You disgrace," and as you see his hands start to glow with a flame that you recognize from Allura, honestly, from her specialization in fire. And you see that the cone of burning hands starts to overwhelm you and starts to char you and your clothes as well. And you do 8 points of damage. So it's now your turn.
Okay, well, Delilah tries to pat out the flames on her frightfully, but she is very, very angry for something, because she recognizes this as an illusion. She knows that this person is not truly here, and she yells out angrily, "I will no longer be your pawn," and she casts Hellish Rebuke.
Ooh.
Yes, this is my first time casting this spell. So for the purposes of the podcast, you point to your finger, and the creature that damaged you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. The creature must take a dexterity saving throw. It takes 2d10 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
Okay, so that's your. I believe that's a reaction. So you could actually use that as part of him attacking you. So you actually still, after this, you still have an action because I'll allow you to do this last
yes.
Yeah, it's a
turn.
reaction.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't see that it said a reaction. I'm sorry, I was just looking at it and thinking, yeah, I could do that for my turn. Sorry,
All right,
maybe.
but what's the dex requirement to pass it?
It doesn't say. It just says
It
dexterity
doesn't
saving throw.
say. It just
Alright,
says a
so here,
dexterity
I'll
saving
look up
throw.
Hellish Rebuke.
When you tell me, I will edit it and I'll put it in there to say what the saving throw should be.
1 second.
In the meantime, a word from our sponsor, Raid
Yeah,
Shadow
so go ahead.
Legends.
Yeah. Okay, so the DC to resist your spells is actually 8 plus your spell casting ability modifier, whatever that number is.
As in my spell attack bonus?
Yes.
Oh wait,
I
no. Sorry.
I think so. Your spell casting ability modifier. That's its name.
So Rhea, yours is charisma. So your spellcasting ability is charisma. So whatever your modifier is for charisma, so 3. So it's 8 plus 3, so it'd be 11.
Plus your proficiency bonus, so +2, so 13.
Yep.
And then plus any other special modifiers, which there are none. So he has to get higher than 13.
Oh, that's gonna be well easy, isn't it? Fuck.
Oh, you can
And
take that.
it's a dexterity check. Let me just
Dexterity
go ahead.
save.
Yes.
Dexterity
okay,
save.
so it needs to be over 13, you say? I'm just gonna add that to my thing now, just for future reference.
Don't forget that will change as you level up.
That
and your
will
charisma
change
goes
as
up.
your proficiency bonus will go up,
Yeah.
so it will be higher than that. All right, so that's a 21.
Oof. That's
So he
that's
goes
dexterity
and-
save.
Yeah, so he saves. So roll 2d10 and then take half of it.
Sorry, I'm just. It's came to a 10, so it'd be a 5.
All right, yeah. So 5 points of damage. All damage is good damage. So
I rolled a fucking nat 1 with that. That's so annoying.
you could see as you do that, you kind of use Hellish Rebuke, and you can see he kind of spurts out blood after he does burning hands. And he kind of coughs up some blood, and it kind of lands on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "You bastard."
Can I say
yeah.
fuck you?
Yeah, you can totally say that.
Fuck you.
It's his turn again. He's going to actually charge you.
Wait,
this time.
wait.
That was my reaction, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was
So-
reaction. My
yeah.
bad. Yes, it was
That's
your
okay.
turn.
So I am going to cast. I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast, lol. Which it was.
Well,
what do I cast to hit again? I've completely forgotten.
It was
Is 10.
It was 1d20 plus your proficiency, wasn't it?
Is it 1d20
So yeah,
to hit?
d20 plus your spell cast, like the spell bonus.
Okay, so I got a 13.
So then plus your charisma
base.
modifier.
Oh
wait, no, spell attack bonus.
3.
That's
Do
5.
you have a spell
So my
attack
spell
bonus?
attack bonus is 5. Yeah.
So you should have a total of. Usually your spell attack bonus is like includes your dexterity bonus.
I cannot confirm that on roll 20. It just says spell attack bonus for her is 5, and she rolled a 13, so that'd be 18.
Okay, 1 second. What is?
Because how have we been casting it before? Because I knew that I had to add my spell attack bonus to something else.
Okay, so spell casting
which might
ability.
have been my charisma.
So a spell attack equals your spell casting ability modifier plus your proficiency bonus plus your roll.
Okay, so
+2 plus the proficiency or the spellcasting ability modifier, and then plus your dice roll.
okay, so it would be 19 then.
Okay, yeah, so you hit. So go ahead and roll for damage.
That is a 1d10. I got a 4.
All good. All right, so you see as you cast that, he he looks up and he gets blasted with eldritch energy after he coughs up his blood, and he gets launched back on
fuck you.
on his back. All right. Now it's his turn once more. He's going to charge at you, and he's gonna spend half his movement to get up, and he's gonna run up to you, and he's gonna try and stab you with his dagger.
No.
That is a 18.
Shit, that hits. That definitely hits.
All right, so he does 4 damage.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. So, yeah, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Right. Well, I probably should have done Hellish Rebuke again. So
I mean, can you? Is it a cantrip, so you can just keep doing it?
No. So it's a level 1 spell. I do still have one other slot remaining for it though. So
you could do it if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my other spells to see if I want to cast any of those later, but I don't think I do. You know what? I will actually cast Hellish Rebuke as another reaction, if that's okay.
Yep.
So once again, that is a dexterity saving throw of 13 or more. I think it's yeah. I'm assuming you have to get 13 bang on or more.
Sounds good. 8.
Okay.
So he fails. So 2d10.
2d10. I got a 14.
Oh my! Holy damn! Okay.
It's a 6 and an 8.
Damn, Rhea. Okay. All right, then go on then.
Delilah is pissed at this point. She is so mad that something would even dare to assume this figure, this person.
So what's the total you've done? So from the first attack, it's sorry to interrupt again, but if he did how much damage did you do the first turn?
So no, I did a 5 first because it halved it because you got the dexterity saving throw. So I did a 5, and then I did a 4, and now I've done a 14.
So 23.
All right, I'm making sure my math is right. All right, cool. So you still have an attack left because that was your reaction. So you can take an action again. So you can attack him.
Okay, yeah, well then I will cast Eldritch Blast. And I would like to mention as well that with the pure fucking rage that is coursing through Delilah, normally her eyes glow purple whenever she casts something. However, this time from the emotion and the hatred that's coursing through her, her lips turn pure black, and the veins that go through her throat up into her face start to darken and darken until they're pure black, like a weird kind of translucent leech almost that's traveling up her throat. She's mad. So yeah, we're gonna cast Eldritch Blast again.
So do you, from your ability, you know how you could cast it up to like 300 feet basically? Mm-hmm. Remember how you said that? So does that stop you from getting disadvantage up close, or do you still have disadvantage when you shoot from melee range?
So it doesn't mention anything about disadvantage, and I believe that we have actually addressed this before. I don't think I had disadvantage because it hasn't been mentioned within the spell. But if you want to enforce that, then that's fine.
Well, just because disadvantage, because usually when you spell attack within that's a range attack from melee range, you get a disadvantage. So.
Mm-hmm. I just did my D20, which was me rolling to hit with Eldritch Blast, and I got 17.
Oh, and what's the other number?
Shit. Yeah, with the attack bonus, it is going to be 22 or 23, one of those. I can't remember.
And so your numbers are 17 and what's the other one?
So 17 was my base roll to hit with the D20, and then with my spell attack bonus and my proficiency
20, right?
modifier, it is 22.
Do you mind doing the same thing again?
Sorry, 24.
Okay. All right, so you have disadvantage. So if you don't mind rolling for me again, and if it's lower, then we'll take that number.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Are you good?
Well, shit, I got a fucking 8.
All right, but go ahead and add up your
Fucking sucks.
bonuses.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be 8 plus another 8. So that's 16.
Yeah, you still hit. So go ahead and roll for
Oh
damage.
shit. Okay, cool. I got another 4. Another 4.
Another 4. Yeah, so you hit him with Eldritch Blast, and as you say that, as the anger's kind of coursing through your veins, you say, "Yeah." So how would you want to finish him?
Okay, so
Finish him.
yeah, so the black veins are pulsing within my body, and the veins are starting to stretch down to my hands as well. Even my nails have gone black at this point. My eyes are a very glowing bright, but also somewhat dark kind of purple. It's very different to the fluorescent purple that it was when we started the campaign. It's progressively gotten darker and darker. And as she casts Eldritch Blast, she doesn't bother to use her arcane focus. She drops it. She drops her staff on the floor, in fact, and she places her hand right in front of her, palm out, and the lightning, the Eldritch Blast itself, forms from her palm, and she doesn't even say a word. It just goes straight in. It just shoots straight lightning over towards her enemy.
As you do that, the beam of Eldritch energy tears through his chest, and he gets launched backwards. And you can see that this the illusion starts to lose its form, and what now it's sitting on to be is a Oni with a cloak covering his head, his head, and he has like a hole burned through his chest with Eldritch energy.
Good.
Now, Aurora, are you ready? Or Bunny, are you ready for the challenge?
No,
You're up next.
I don't know. Just what I put in the group chat. I'm hearing you like speak to Charlie and me right now, and I'm thinking about who's in my room, and I'm thinking, okay, what could I possibly do here that fits with her character?
Yeah. So,
Oh.
what would you like to go ahead and do? You said last time you were kind of crying to yourself. Basically, you got on your knees and started crying for this little girl with a dagger.
Oh no. Okay. Brain. Okay, like I said, because of the character who it is, Alora is not thinking straight at all. She grabs like the bracelet on her wrist, which matches the bracelet on the child, and she basically just walks towards the child and shouts. She goes, "Evelyn, is that you?" And yeah, she walks towards Evelyn.
And so the child like after you say that, it goes quiet for continues to be quiet, and then after that it says, "You let me."
I didn't hear what the child said because your mic cut out.
Oh damn it! You let me die.
Oh shit.
I said that in a more like little girl voice, but it didn't pick up. So
It's okay.
You
It's
let
okay.
me
It
die!
definitely went through this time.
Yeah. Fuck. Should have prepared for this.
Getting out the tissues. I should have prepared for this.
I'm actually gonna welling up. Alora with even more tears. She's just bawling at this point. She's I'm so sorry. I didn't have a choice. I didn't mean for you to get killed. I swore all my life that I was going to protect you as much as I could, but my father, he's so evil. And she continues to walk towards Evelyn.
how close do you want to get? Like right up in her face?
Yeah. I mean, it's my dead sister.
Roll initiative real quick.
Oh no. 17.
14. So you're still ahead of her if you want to do something.
Oh. This is gonna sound really dumb, and I know I should probably attack her because everyone else is attacked, but because
No, it's what your character would do, not what you would do.
yeah, exactly. Because it's Alora's dead sister, she's just gonna try and like reach out to her, kind of like go to touch her, kind of ignoring the fact that she's got a stab wound in her chest because she's looking at her sister.
Seeing this, you put your arm on her shoulder, and you notice that you're able to actually like take hold of her, and that her form is sort of on this plane, at least for now, and you're able to hold onto her shoulder, and she doesn't say anything after that. Is there anything else you wanted to do on your turn?
No.
All right. Oh man. Okay, she's gonna go for a stab.
Oh fuck.
With her knife. She misses.
She
so
misses.
yeah. So she goes to stab you, and do you want her to miss or do you want her to grab her arm to stop her? I'm giving you the choice.
I wanted to miss.
Yeah. So she goes to attack, and then as you're walking over and going to put her arm on her shoulder, she goes to swipe you, and she swipes downwards as if to cut you. So before your arm can go touch her on her shoulder, you can she swipes down and indicates that don't come any closer, basically.
Fuck. Okay, well, kind of a sudden like shock kind of hits Laura, and she kind of snaps out of she kind of felt like she was under some sort of like spell or something. Like she was so like happy to see her sister. But ever since that happened, she's kind of snapped back into reality, and she kind of says to herself, this isn't real. This isn't real. And yeah.
Awesome. So that was her turn. So if you're up on the pitch. So what do you want to do?
I guess I could go to. Sadly, I really don't want to do this because it's so sad, but I guess I could go and try to attack her with my dagger.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want
to. All right, go ahead. Roll the hit.
Okay. Oh, 20.
Nice.
All right, yeah, so you hit. So go ahead and roll for damage.
3.
Like the most powerful attack ever. Dink.
Well, Alora is very like when she's attacking, she says to Evelyn, like, "I'm really sorry. I don't want to have to do this, but I know you're not real." And goes to yeah.
So you go and you jab the knife into like right below her shoulder, and I would, but I can't. So she screams out in pain, and you recognize, and it hurts your ears because of what you swore long ago, and it hurts you, and it kind of hurts yourself as well. It just hurts to hear overall. Yeah, that's 3 points of damage.
Yeah, but Laura's just kind of screaming like, I'm sorry, like kind of reliving the experience of when she watched the priests murder her younger sibling in front of her. With yeah.
So at this point, I think that, or not, I don't think, Lyris, because of your divine sense and your sense that something was off, you hear faintly the scream of the girl when Alora basically stabbed her. It is at this point that you hear a voice. This voice isn't like anything you've heard before. It sounds very divine, and everything you've heard up to this point has never been an experience like this. But she says, "Do you want to help her?"
and I kind of just like look up because for some reason that's my first reaction is, well, clearly it's something or holy. I mean, do I get a sense of, you know, like you said, I've never heard anything like this before. Do I get a sense of like kindness or light or anything from her voice, or not really?
It gives you sort of warmth in your chest, basically.
Okay.
It gives you a sense that that's not like it's like having a nice cup of tea by the fire. It's nice and cozy feeling.
Then in which case, yes, I look up and go, if that was Alora, then yes, bring me to her.
All right, roll initiative.
And Fowl joins the battle. 14.
Alrighty, so you go, and so you're on the pitch since you just joined, and so Aurora, as you retract your blade, basically, you can see behind you can see behind you you can hear it, the footsteps of Lyris kind of approaching out of nowhere.
I mean, Dolores kind of just sobbing. She, I don't know. She just looks at Lyris and I have my brain. I'm not ready for this.
I mean, that's what your character would be like, you know. They're just generally just upset looking at me.
Yeah, she just turns around. I
And
guess
Lyris, the image as well shocks you. Like you have never seen. Like you thought your image was bad, but this is like a little kid.
So I'm kind of like, you know, for a split second, I'm gonna kind of like, you know, Lyris. He's not like he's used to being teleported or whatever. Like, you know, it's still surprising for him to just suddenly be people there where there wasn't. So he's kind of brush himself off for a second, and kind of, because these figures were always like blue, weren't they? They weren't like exact, like, you know, they weren't like lifelike, were they? They were always kind of like,
no, they're kind of transparent, but they have they have like a blue hue to them to give them detail.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so I obviously I recognize that, even though quite disturbing seeing what is basically a child. I shout to Alora, get back from that thing. It's not what you think. And I draw my. Is it technically my turn, or am I just talking through what I'm saying?
It's your turn, so go ahead and you can say what you want, and then you can do your action. Yeah,
I literally shout at Alora. I'm not going to shout, otherwise you guys, your poor earphones. But I'm going to shout at Alora, get back. It's not what you think. It's not them. It's not who you think. And I'm going to lift up my sword in 2 hands, and I'm going to cast Divine Smite onto my sword. It is a bonus action. I'm going to cast Divine Smite, but it still requires. I think I do that as I hit. Correct me if I'm wrong, Drybone. So
you can do it beforehand.
I mean, should I do it beforehand, or can I? I guess you can't do it when you're swinging. Like, you won't know until you hit. So yeah, I cast.
You gotta do. Yeah.
Yes. So I cast Divine Smite. I say, I mutter some words under my breath, and the sword kind of begins to kind of illuminate with kind of just warm light. I charge towards Alora and the child, and so that I don't hit Alora, I simply just slash straight down at this entity.
All right. Roll the hit.
By the way.
16.
That hits. Roll damage.
Add the global modifier. 9 radiant, 13 slashing. So total of 22.
Okay. Before you say that she killed.
So with one fell swoop, you cleave into the image, and the image isn't able to hold its form. And what starts as a girl screaming and kind of starts to fade and gets more distorted and gets kind of lower pitched, and then turns into the creature that you recognize as the Oni, Lyris. And you kind of your sword is basically stuck in it, and you realize that you're basically stabbing at its heart. You went from shoulder to heart, basically. You cleaved through, like basically through him.
I kind of, as I realized that I've done that, I kind of actually let go of my sword so that the entity will just fall to the ground and like my sword is in it. And my first reaction, the second I've let go of the sword, is I simply just grab Alora, kind of like in a hug motion, turn her around. Were you like on the floor, or were you standing up?
I was right in front of her, basically.
Standing up, or were you like on like had you like taken a knee or anything? I wasn't sure.
I was standing up at that point, yeah, because I stabbed her.
Okay, yeah. So I'm literally like, as I kind of like let go of my sword, I kind of let that go with the entity. I kind of obviously visibly seeing that Alora's upset. I kind of literally instantly just grab her, turn around, and just kind of like pull her into my chest a little bit, and just say, "It wasn't real. It wasn't real. It wasn't her."
Alora is just sobbing into Lyris, like just basically screaming like Evelyn and just crying, like sobbing, because even though it wasn't real, seeing
Doesn't hurt any less.
seeing what was her sister, right in front of her, sister that she promised that she would save no matter what, it really brought back her traumatic memories of watching her being stabbed to death in front of her, and it kind of being Alora's fault. So yeah, she's very, very sad. It's kind of. Whew.
I just keep holding Alora for now, and I'm kind of like, I'm a bit out of breath from all the running around and slashing and stuff, and I'm kind of just also looking around the room, almost kind of like thinking like, fuck, what could come next?
Now, after that, you guys look around, and Delilah, you look around the room, and you see your friends, and you see Alora crying, and you see Lyris basically comforting her in the center of the room next to a dead body, similar to the one that you created, basically.
Mm-hmm. Do I, considering how much time has passed since I killed my own image compared to Lyris killing Alora's?
5 minutes, maybe 10.
Okay. All right then. So my all of the changes to my appearance have definitely have disappeared now. So I appear like I normally would, an ordinary human girl. And I walk over to them with a very stoic expression on my face, and I say, "We need to get out of here now."
I kind of like, as I see Delilah walking towards me, I kind of go, "Oh, thank God, you survived too. Are you okay? Are you unharmed?"
We need to get out of here now.
Agreed. Let's find an exit.
As you guys say that, there is a door, like sort of like doorway that kind of opens up on the other side of the room, over like here, if you can see that on the camera. It's like on the far side of the room, basically in front of you guys, where you guys were facing.
Also,
you guys see a doorway kind of appears.
As I also see Delilah, I kind of say to well, I'm guessing I would notice that Delilah is injured.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, my clothes are definitely singed, and I'll probably have like soot marks or something on my face, and I'll say I kind of limped over as well, not like with a huge noticeable limp, but as I walked over, it was clear that I was in pain.
All right, so kind of, I'm assuming you're like next to us now.
Mm-hmm.
I've still got one arm around Alora. I'm still kind of like comforting her, and I hold out my hand towards you, and kind of I begin casting lay on hands, and you see a light glow of light from my hand, clearly showing that this is to make you feel better. But I kind of allow you to do the rest. I kind of just put my hand out towards you.
So after everything that Delilah has just gone through, considering that it was her sister who put her in this place, and the identity of the illusion that was presented to her, Delilah now feels like her blood family is no longer her family. And as she looks at Lyris extending his hand to heal her, she kind of comes to this internal decision that she's essentially found a new family, and and she will do anything for these people who would not willingly abandon her. So she places her hand against Lyris's hand with a very soft smile. It is there, but it is a soft smile, and she accepts for healing.
I really wanted to just reply to that by like he removes his hand. Psych. No.
I'd be so upset.
No. So as she takes my hand, I do cast Lay on Hands. I use my entire pool of 10 points for Lay on Hands to give her 10 hit points back.
That's got me back up to full. Why, thank you. Like on the dot.
Like as I take my hand off you, I see the magic just fade from my hand. I know that that's all I had in me. Right, look. We've been through a lot. Let's just get out of here and assess damage at the other end. Clearly, whatever place we are, it's some form of test. It has to be. There's no other way. Let's just go through this door and face whatever we face together, and let's get the hell out of here.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and move back to my DM setup over there. So,
yep,
I'll see you guys over there.
See you on the other side.
So, each of you guys are able to kind of recoup and get back to one another, heal up, that kind of thing, kind of emotionally drain yourselves.
Sorry, I should have said this before you started speaking. Actually, as part of our kind of like, get back and all good and stuff, I use my Lay on Hands on Rhea. I'll cast Cure Wounds on myself, which will use my last remaining spell slots. And I'll just cast a 1d8. 6 plus, get my character sheet up, plus my okay, so I'll gain 9 hit points back.
Was that supposed to be a d8? Oh, sorry, never mind. I'm being silly.
That's okay. Yeah, so I've regained 9 points.
So you guys have the path ahead of you, the obvious cave, another doorway to go through of some sort. It is another kind of tunnel, from what you can tell, very dark as well. It was also hard for you guys to see. The reason I said you guys were able to see throughout that fight is because the ghosts were very bright, and so it was pretty easy to hit them.
Yep.
So for the humans in the group, that's why you're able to hit them.
Mm-hmm.
For the rest of at this point, what would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna again. I presume until Laura tells me otherwise, I'm still gonna be kind of keeping Laura close, because I've in the way I've managed it, I've always got her on my left hand side. I'm going to be actually having my shield for once on my right arm, and I'm going to be kind of holding it in front of me, just in case of any traps or anything like that that's coming up, like that might be in front of us. And I, as we're walking forward, which I presume we are still walking forward, I will be. I kind of, I keep looking around me and looking back towards Delilah, just checking she's close, and now I know there's actually danger. My senses, I'm on alert. Basically, I'm trying to keep my friends close and be ready for anything.
Sorry, you go ahead.
No, it's okay. You go first. It's all good.
I was just going to say, could I do, well, I mean, I can't really see anything, but I was going to say if I could, is there any way for me to see if there are any torches in the kind of cave that we're in?
No, so right now it's actually pretty dark now that Aurora hasn't stopped illuminating, but yeah, it's pretty dark right now. You were able to see the vague glow of what was left over, but it's kind of died out now, so it's pretty dark in the cave now.
So there's no torches, just kind of unlit. I mean, I'm not looking for lit ones. There's nothing that I can light to make.
Nothing seems to catch your eyes as a light source around here. This is a cave, kind of more of a natural cave rather than one that's been explored before.
This cantrip that I have has been utterly pointless, except for one episode where I used it. God damn it!
One day.
We have one day.
I mean, Alora could use a light source, but I kind of want to make it so she's just completely out of it right now.
That's understandable.
She's like, I don't know, she's literally just going to be quiet and she's just not going to say anything. She's just in complete, like, an utter, like, shock and grief.
Yeah, so you guys are going to have disadvantage when you have perception checks or trying to see. So, but
sorry.
That's fine.
Millie can give you like, because she's the one, she can actually see, so she can actually tell you where like the door is. So yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting. I just wanted to know, what is Saul's kind of eyesight like in this darkness, considering he's a burb.
I think he can see, right? I believe so. Yeah. So I mean, if not, he's able to see, or at least I wouldn't say he has like night vision, but he's able to see better than you guys are.
Okay. Then in that case, I kind of tug. Well, I put my hand up to the brim of my hat, and he hops onto my finger, or onto my hand rather, and I bring him down to eye level, although I can't really see him very much. And I say to him, "Look for a way out."
He squawks and then heads kind of towards where you guys initially, where Aurora saw the entrance, but you guys had trouble seeing, so you can follow Saul through the darkness essentially.
I just imagine him on your finger, like pointing with his like beak, like turning.
Yeah, right.
Just
Like a little beacon.
squawking like every few minutes or so.
I don't know why,
Yep.
but I slightly envisioned him as that freaking one annoying bird from Finding Dory. The fucking Becky, I think their name
Oh,
is.
Becky.
Oh my god, no.
I don't know.
Paint Becky like just as a black crow.
Yeah, that's what I did.
That's funny. But so yeah, you guys are able to follow, and like everybody's pretty drained, and so you guys head through the tunnel, following Saul through. And so you hear Saul kind of squawk multiple times, and Delilah, you kind of interpret that as being something, as if there is something ahead.
Well, I look behind me. I'm assuming that I'm kind of like leading the way, I suppose, because I'm following Saul, and I call back to my companions and I say, "This way."
So when all of you guys basically step into the room, you can see there is torchlight in this room. There are 3 torches, 2 on either side and one above the center, like one above, like higher up on the wall from what you're looking at. And you can see, sitting kind of lounging a little bit, honestly, you can see Humorous standing or sitting
For
on
fuck's sake.
basically on the rock at the end. And he says, "Well done. I believe you guys have gone through a lot. So I'll leave you with this." And he says, "Just shake my hand and you can go home. I won't stop keeping an eye on you, but you can go home."
I literally, again, I'm still holding Alora. I kind of just bonk my shield in front of me, put up and I literally just grab his hand and shake it, like like in a polite handshake, you kind of put clasp hands and then shake together, like in a clear sign of I'm not playing games, I want out. I literally just clasp and straight away just shake. I literally don't even
All
say
right.
a word to him.
Very well. I'll see you guys another time. And then and you guys all kind of like, basically your vision goes black, and then you regain your vision and you're back in the hall of Beatrix and Arganon, basically standing in front of them. And you guys all of your spell slots are regained. You've taken no damage.
Hey.
All you guys basically were the same as when you left. It's just all that was basically at once a vision that you guys basically all shared. And so Beatrix basically looks at all of you, and she whispers, she mouths to you, Delilah, and she says, "I'm sorry." And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, goddammit. I was going to say I glare back at her. Shit.
Oh man, that was awesome.
So that was our first Halloween special. That was a good one as well.
I really,
That was really fun.
enjoyed that. That was
That
amazing.
was amazing, and I wasn't expecting a single thing. And that was actually so fun. And no
Yeah,
one's
guys, that was a
back.
lot. Oh man, this costume's getting a bit hot. Not gonna lie.
It's getting
Strip,
hot in
strip,
here.
strip.
I don't think YouTube will allow that.
Podcast wouldn't
YouTube
know.
doesn't like that. Yeah, podcast is like podcasts are missing out.
You just hear
Um,
like the soft rustling of clothing. And you're like, hang on, what the fuck?
Wait, hold up. Oh man, no, but that was really good, guys. We'll pick up as usual, next time, right?
And in the meantime, happy Halloween, because this will be live on Saturday. Because I mean, yes, we recorded this today as well. So happy Halloween to anyone watching, and happy late Halloween to anyone that watched this after the 31st of October 2020.
Spoopy
Yeah,
season.
happy Halloween sincerely to everybody who watches this. Go get a bunch of candy. Thanks for watching our D&D podcast and prioritizing that. We really appreciate your support. But once again, love you guys so much. Have a great week and spoopy Halloween, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye, guys.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
It's time to put the big boy pants on. This is a packed episode, and I'm in my Halloween costume. I am Luke Skywalker from Star Wars Episode 4. And I have a lightsaber, which just not turning on now, but all right, cool.
Cool.
All right, ready? Welcome to Dungeons and Chickens.
That's so